We're live and direct, and make sure you tune in because the NCAA, man, oh man, some of their volunteers are not feeling the love. Maybe it's from UNC fans. Maybe Mack Brown put a call in. Is it really over this Tez Walker situation? We'll talk about that as well as reading your comments from YouTube, all on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download, subscribe to the pod. Make sure that you also tap into the YouTube page where you can see our lovely faces as we talk through all of our content across the league. Kenton, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I am ready to get into this because this is messy. It's sassy. We need to get this done and over with so we can get back to on the field stuff. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
You know, every day that we don't get a chance to just talk about ball is very stressful because why can't we just be about the X's and O's? But sometimes it's a little bit more than that, right? The NCAA has found themselves in yet another pickle. If we want to remind you guys, Tez Walker, wide receiver at North Carolina, got denied from playing this season, lost eligibility after being a two-time transfer, was all the things. He did it on January 9th. They changed the rule January 11th. He is not able to play this season after an appeal and all the things. Now, Mack Brown came out with a salacious statement, very much reading to filth the NCAA and being very much untrustworthy of things moving forward. Cool, hear ya. But now fans are taking it a step further. The NCAA Committee released a statement about all that was going down. Kenton, please let the people know what the NCAA said.
Well, there were multiple statements, many of which alluding to there being threats against the lives of the board members and of members of this specific DI board and their committee. But there was also one that very much so gave the energy of, I'm clapping back at you. This is very much a catty, we're getting into it now. The girls are fighting type of situation.
Tussling, if you will.
Exactly, tussling, if you will. The statement reads, the DI board is troubled by the public remarks made last week by some of the UNC leadership. Those comments directly contradict what we and our fellow Division I members and coaches called for vociferously, including UNC's own football coach.
You better use that SAT prep word vociferously because I know I would have had to go straight to dictionary.
Well, here's the thing, right? When you pull out a word like vociferously, it's not even about it being an SAT word. If you have the knowledge to comprehend what vociferously means, and for somebody to use it to say, hey, you're contradicting what we fought for vociferously, oh, brother, come outside. Come step outside real quick.
What does vociferously mean?
It means fiercely, intensely, with tooth and nail, with everything in your being. That's what vociferously means.
Okay, you might be right smart. Look at you. Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I make up words on this show every day.
it's one of those words that people don't use often because people don't generally use that when you can just say, I gave everything for you, or I fought tooth and nail for this, instead of saying vociferously.
So when I say see you next Tuesday, that's one of my words that I bring out when I have to.
When you say what next Tuesday? See you next Tuesday is not a series of words that like
it went over your head. Some girl will catch it, but it's fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, all right. You never. It's It's my Carolina girl word.
Don't understand.
C-U-N-T.
Oh yeah.
You're pretty. You're pretty. All right. Either way it goes, I think that it's pretty salacious. Come on.
Very much so. Very much so.
Come on. It's pretty salacious for the NCAA.
We're not going to start talking like T.I. on this show. I just want to let that be known right now. Listeners,
that's
viewers,
my last word I got, so I don't know.
We're not doing a bunch of 5-syllable words to, we're not, we are very loquacious on today's show. We're not doing
Mack Brown handled the situation expeditiously.
Candace.
Okay.
Apparently somebody go handle it for him. You know what I mean? Somebody.
Okay.
They're telling us, hey, get ready. Deion Sanders in Colorado, when they said we coming, they just meant on the field to whoop some folks. That ain't what Mack Brown mean when he said we coming. But
we'll talk about that in a second. But either way, get back to the comments. Let's just be very clear.
Absolutely.
We hate it during sports time when a kicker misses a kick, when someone misses a pass, misses a throw, all the things. The death threats on the kids is crazy. It's just as crazy to take time out of your busy day-to-day schedule to threaten another human being off the strength of athletics. It forever will be crazy to me.
Where's Phil Dracovic when you need him? Because this is the moment that you need to be telling people, if you're a grown-ass man or woman doing this,
right,
this is a problem.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, and I don't want to sound flippant about this, because trust me, I understand the toll that not being able to play football takes on one's mental health. Yeah. I was forced to retire due to I was medically retired, and I had multiple injuries that for the first time in my life, I was months on end, or basically months on end without being able to play football. As something I never experienced in my life. I understand the impact that can have. Nobody is dead in this situation. Threatening somebody's life over this. And let me also say this. I know how this works out. It's not the majority. I'm sure that they're not getting thousands of death threats and being flooded with all that. Even one person is too much. And we need to look at ourselves in the mirror if you are being that one person and say, what am I doing?
It's just not that deep. It can't, nothing. And not, me, ride or die, born, bred, dead. But like North Carolina, let me help you. It's never that serious. North Carolina football is never that serious.
Never.
At least be the guy who's asking in September, when is basketball season? But don't be the guy knocking on NCAA's door saying, hey, you better change this or I'm going to hurt you. Like, that's insane.
I gave 3 tenants for this program. NC State's football ain't that serious. UNC's football ain't that serious. Florida State's football ain't that serious. Miami's football ain't that serious. Wake Forest, anybody that you want to name in this conference, anybody that you want to name in the Power 5, Group of 5, the Colonial Athletic League, the Patriot League, FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA.
Yeah.
Nobody's sport is that serious to where a player being unjustly denied, and let's make this very clear. I am saying that Tez was unjustly denied. I don't care if he visited other places that were further away from grandma. I do not care. I do not care. This whole thing should not hinge on whether or not grandma is sick. That, to me, gave no bearing to this situation. The fact of the matter is simple. The young man transferred out of a place that didn't have football his first year. Yeah. So with that in mind, I understand, and I think he should be allowed to play. I also think that any death threat is too far.
Yeah, it's insanity and it's nuts. And hopefully they can come to some sort of resolution, because as we're looking toward, like, I just want to know. Let me just stop my own self. The App State game could not have had you panicking that bad to where you're willing to call up the NCAA and say, hey, let me figure this out. Hey, y'all need to figure this out right now. Do you know how good I would be feeling if I was a Mountaineer? Like, damn, they going all the way out their way to get Tez back this badly because we had them shaking in their boots just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I hate saying this because it makes it feel flippant. It makes it feel like, I don't feel for this young man and I don't care. With all due respect, the sun will rise again. The moon will show it at night. The sun will rise on the east and set on the west. You'll still have bills to pay on the first. Your car note's still going to be due. Don't get locked up sending somebody a death threat over this situation.
Get locked on the ACC, but more importantly, get locked in to Drake May having a shaky start to his season. Like, let's be mad at the real villain here. Like, let's talk to the offensive coordinator, right? Like, we appreciate Amarian Hampton for having but I still need to find a receiver, Lord. Like we mad at the wrong things. We're putting our energy into very misguided places. And so I hope they can rally the troops, but that's very clear and apparent as to why they're still so upset. And we got to do better. We got to do better.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about eBay Motors here as we go through what will be a very exciting time. Passion, drive, and patience. So what brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From supercharges, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED highlights, and more. Whether you're Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebay.com/motors. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available for customers. Yep, it's beating my tail today. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items apply.
Talk to it.
Yeah, kicked my whole family today. That's what I get for trying to use big words. Can't get through the basic ones. It's fine. It's fine. Now, not only is the NCAA getting threats, but I just err on the side of Mack Brown. You knew what you were doing when you made that statement. Not to say you were calling on the squad to like go ahead and get people on their tail, but Mack Brown is probably one of the best in the business when it comes to putting out statements or curating thoughts or making you believe a certain thing or trying to skew your process. Like if he says, oh, it's so hard that we play, Clemson and then Duke and then NC State. Because, hey, we're going to lose one of those, right? So let's just all temper expectations. Or Mack Brown says, oh, we can't stop a runny nose. And so I'm still just pissed off at defense. Come out and play really great against South Carolina. So you're like, oh, the defense is back and they're better. And then you play App State and everyone's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, just what we thought. Rolling on back in. He's really good at his comments. He is great for media. He was in it for a little minute when he decided to have a Texas transition. So I'm just here to say, Mack knew what he was doing when he dug up in the NCAA's tail. Hate that it had to go to the extreme of the death threats, but coaches be knowing.
I mean, I don't think Mack knew that was going to be the extreme that people were going to take it to.
I just said that.
Logically, okay. All right. Well, your statement ended with he knew what he was doing. So
he knew what he was doing by digging up the NCAA's tail. He didn't know what he was doing by people trying to threaten, because at the end of the day, threatening is crazy. We established that segment 1.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yes, you're right. He knew what he was doing. He intentionally put out statements and all that to like basically say, hey, the NCAA is not doing their job, all that good stuff. Absolutely. I don't think that there's any surprise there or any like, wait, did he know or is he doing the right thing? He knew. In terms of certain aspects of it. At the end of the day, this is a head coach that's disappointed that one of his players won't be able to play. He's very upset about it. He released a letter about it. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, it probably took him all of 5 minutes to like say it and then have somebody type it out and send it out.
Why do you think my boy can't type his own letters?
Come on.
All right.
Come on. That man was a head coach in the 80s. You understand?
2 100-win programs, period. Know him, know the kid.
That man has been a coach since before Just Say No was a thing. He
had brown hair as an App State coach for 1 year, and it was very much full. The things.
Let's stop playing with ourselves. Come on now. That man he don't know how to type.
Sally wrote that letter. Don't do that. No, that's disrespectful.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sure that this head football coach who has probably not had to do a ton of data entry, who was a head football coach at the richest program in all of college football. I'm sure he was sitting there manually typing up game notes. Yes. And Vince Young threw for 300. That's what he was doing after those press conferences. That's why he was always so.
Now Miss Annie Sue was doing that, so I get.
That's my point. That's my point. That man don't know how to. He gave the statement.
Now he don't know how. Don't know how and not doing it.
He is able. He is physically able to type. I'm sure he's physically able to do it. But let's just be honest.
He be texting and tweeting. Let's see. That's how I'm vociferously denying your claims.
You are vociferously denying the claims, and I don't know why. I don't know why.
Come on, big word today. We're not gonna let the big word take me down. We're back in the game.
It's at the end of the day, whether or not he typed it or somebody else typed it, the statement is the statement. And again, I don't think Mack Brown obviously meant for anybody to take it to that extreme. But at the end of the day, a head coach is disappointed that this player can't play. That's normal. That's not.
He gonna let that out all season, and just in case the UNC doesn't make it to the ACC championship game because of poor wide receivers, then that's just gonna be his out. And that's
Absolutely.
the Mack Brown effect. Whoop, there it is. All right, let's talk about letting it out, right? Because every week we talk to you guys about some of our shows here, and we expect some comments. You guys give it to us, sometimes positive, other times negatives, more times than not in your feels. And either way it goes, guess what? The sun rises and Ken and I get paid on the first. So cool, sure.
You get paid on the first? Wait a minute. I need to, never mind. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
So we did our power rankings yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, people got in their feels, right?
Of course.
Right? Some people disagreed with us. Some people were excited for us, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start with positivity or you want to go ahead with the negative? Let me know.
Oh, go whichever way you want to go with it. You know what I mean? We can start with the negative. We can start with the positive. I'm all for whatever you with.
Come on, let's get some positive in here because user number LPDFHIJ said, nice show. ACC needs positive feedback and you guys delivered this.
Yeah, I mean, that's at the end of the day, my job isn't to provide positive or negative feedback. I'm here to tell you what I think from my perspective the ACC looks like. And right now, the ACC is looking very strong in terms of performance. That's just the reality.
Now we get some shaky ones, right? Sean Harrison 3482 said, you should be ranking Notre Dame in this list. I get they aren't in the conference, but they play enough in conference that they can poop in a lot of your team's Cheerios.
Love you. No. I'm putting the heart up. For those of you who can only hear and are not watching, I'm making a heart with my hands. What was his name again, Candace?
Sean Harrison 3482.
Mr. Harrison or Sean, whichever one you prefer. Love you. No.
Don't forget the 3482.
Mr. 3482, whichever you prefer to be, Mr. Harrison or Mr. 3482. Love you. No.
Now, here's my thing. You already talked yourself out of what we need to do by saying it in the damn comment. I know they're not in the conference, but you should rank them in the conference. Boy, what?
Again, love you. My heart goes out to you. No.
Mr. Leroy Burry. No, Leroy. God.
Listen, but so while you figure that out, I just want to say my main man Slam Tanner isn't right. Notre Dame shouldn't have an equal vote as everybody else because they're not in here for the biggest sport of them all. So the sport that's making all the money.
That was a Key and Peele episode if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. That was the Aaron moment. That was the Aaron moment of
Leroy Albury. Wow. Candace. Wow. Leroy is gonna have me dead for some days. Yes, Kenton, you grow with the crib. ACC. Love it. And it wasn't even a salacious comment. I just messed it up by calling him Leroy. Oh, Mr. Norris DAU said, Kenton, bro, you raising questions about your knowledge of pharmaceuticals?
Say what? I don't engage in any pharmaceuticals. I have no knowledge of pharmaceuticals.
Because we were talking about Perkville,
I don't engage in any of that. The only thing that I know about that is what the rap music today says. Okay? That's all I know. YNJ is one of my favorite rappers, and he raps about things of those variety. He's a wonderful rapper. You should look him up sometime. I don't know anything about that. Law-abiding citizen here. Law-abiding.
Q-Band 2010 said, I'm so sick of the like and subscribe and click and download crap. Well, let me tell you something, Q-Band.
Friend, that's how we get paid. I'm sorry to tell you.
Hate to be the one. And someone replied and told him, how else are they supposed to get paid?
Maybe we should go to your job and say like, hey, I'm sick of you trying to sell cars at this Toyota factory.
That damn CTA. I'm sick of the call to action. What's wrong with y'all?
Oh, the nerve of you trying to perform surgery at your job as a doctor.
Heaven forbid. Now, oh man. Sam Poole of 7522 said, Clemson above UNC is absurd. And I don't think he watched UNC App State.
Listen, I understand that these are different teams. What happened last time those two teams played?
I'm trying to tell you. With both quarterbacks at the helm.
Well, why are we acting like these are two like entirely different teams for last year? And by the way, if you look at the team that lost more production of those two teams, it wasn't Clemson.
Yeah.
So,
Like if you're with me, yeah.
What are we doing here? Like I know that you want to think that's absurd. It's really not.
Cade, here's the thing. Cade, solid quarterback. Nothing jumps off the page. Right now, with the way Drake May has been hyped, him and Cade are battling.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think that Drake, while he's had his struggles, has been solidly better than Cade. However, has UNC been solidly better than Clemson? I'm not so sure about that. And again, I give them all their credit for beating South Carolina. I give them all their credit. And if you do the transitive property of South Carolina beat Clemson and they beat that South Carolina team, therefore they hold your horses.
Right.
Hold your horses. This is a very different South Carolina team from last year and all that. And even with that, we don't have to do transitive property because we have a head-to-head after that game. So,
1,000%. All right, guys, let's just keep it plain right quick. Don't be caught unprepared. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. Jase Medical handles everything from online evaluations to licensed pharmacy, medication delivery, and ongoing consultation and care. All you've got to do is check out our friends here at Jase Medical. Save more than $360 by getting these life-saving antibiotics with Jase Medical, plus an additional $20 off by using code Locked On at checkout on jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com. Again, save $360 by getting these life-saving antibiotics with Jase Medical. Damn. All I got to say is Cuban is really mad at that one. Whoops, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but we got to get paid.
Again, hey.
And we're just talking about pharmaceuticals, which makes that even funnier for today.
With all due respect, I'm not showing up to your job and telling you to stop doing whatever it is that gets you paid. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And also, it's at the tail end of the episode too, brother. By the time you hear that, if you already like, subscribe, and follow and all that, you can just leave.
I said it at the first 10 seconds, and then we're over here. We're over it. Just let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Mr. Urban Williams, GB2QD. Okay, I'm just reading these usernames because it's hilarious. Low Royal. I'm never gonna forget that as long as I'm breathing. FSU played 102 players against USM. Was good to see everyone get an opportunity to play. Keep climbing. Go Noles.
Hey, the Noles are number one right now. I give them their props. I give folks their gots when they earn them, and Florida State has earned it. They've looked like by far and away the best team in the ACC so far. However, y'all know my rule. Until you get to that fourth week, because 4 is such a relevant number in my life, until you get to that fourth week, But again, at the moment, FSU is by far and away better than everybody else.
Now we had user PSG96 PS3019 say, personally, I love for UVA to be a Big Ten team in Maryland. And I want $1 million by tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Let's bring this in, right? Yep, and I wish that I had a camera that I could like bring with me, but instead I'll use this Locked On mug as my bringing this in. Mr. PSG, whatever the name is there with all the letters and all that. This mug is you. I'm hugging you. I'm bringing it in with you. I hope that you're warmly nestled inside my bosom right now. And let me tell you why. Your attendance and viewership would cut into the Big Ten pie and you would not be a positive addition. It would not make sense for them to add you. All of the other teams that the Big Ten has added, USC, UCLA.
Kenton, you did not listen to what I said.
I'm sorry.
UVA to beat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said be in the Big Ten. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. You're right. I didn't hear you. Yes, I absolutely want that too. I'm so sorry. Still hugging you for a different reason now. Apology hug. Hearing is not my strong suit. I'm sorry. You got me out here looking like Lee Corso, Candace. We said vociferous, but you can't enunciate. I want them to beat, not be a Big Ten team.
Woo! You act like they play us for real. LaRoyal, be and beat. Okay.
I'm just saying. You got to enunciate, player. Enunciate.
Oh, it's on me. That's
it's
why
on
you sat there
it's
and had
on
a
you.
little monologue. Okay.
It's on you. Because I thought that they said they wanted to be a Big Ten. And I'm like, I don't know what Maryland has to do with this, but okay. But yeah, all right. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Yes. I too want the ACC to sweep the Big Ten this week. I hope that UNC beats Minnesota. And I hope that Virginia beats Maryland. I'm sorry for the comment. Again, bring it in, friend. We're good. Apology hug given out. This is you again. Apology hug.
User P9767 is not upset. I'm upset. Okay.
We gave him multiple apology hugs. Or them. We gave them multiple apology hugs. So.
All right, let's end with ETG 2231. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it.
Got some questions with your list. Talking about our power rankings from yesterday, right?
Let's do it.
This is his rankings. Florida State, Miami, Duke, Louisville, North Carolina, Clemson, Wake, Syracuse, Pitt, NC State. Now, where he lost us, he didn't even find Virginia Tech, Virginia, or Boston College worthy of his list.
I'm sorry, you put NC State at the dead bottom?
No, because he missed 3. So not the dead bottom, because there's still 3 to go. Okay. And he said 3 through 5 are interchangeable.
I'd agree with that.
Sure. Cool. If you're going to give us a list, finish it.
Make it complete.
Finish it. Because you got some Hokie fans in here. You got some Cavs fans in here. You certainly
got some Golden Eagles. Yeah.
Are they Golden Eagles or just Eagles?
I thought it was the Golden Eagles.
I don't think they're the Golden Eagles.
Sorry.
You're striking out bad today.
They have gold helmets.
That's like saying they're the Golden Seminoles. What is your problem? This is why we can't do live shows late, because
I'm okay. I'm all right with that. Listen, I would have said the same thing at 3 p.m.
Okay, main thing.
Okay.
NC State being last.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. I mean, a bad loss to a top 10 team is like, hey, you're the worst of the teams that are going to win more than 3 games this year. I think that's a little excessive. They do have problems. They do have a lot of problems. I'll give you that.
I think this is the first time in the last 3 years where they've looked the most fraudulent. Now, flying under the radar and over exceeding expectations, cool. Being the one that everyone thinks is going to do it after you take down Clemson and then not coming through because Devin gets hurt. All right, whatever. We live with that. This is the first year where I'm like, I don't know.
But here's my thing. Again, a loss to Notre Dame is drawing all this?
No, and this is watching them against UConn drew it too.
That is a UConn team that got better every week after they lost to NC State last year. They never suffered a loss as bad as what they suffered to NC State for the entire rest of the season.
But everybody in 2023 got a new slate. So, doesn't matter. No, don't care.
So if we're talking about the new slate, then UConn is technically undefeated at the moment, I'm pretty sure.
But more than that, Brennan Armstrong was supposed to be the answer.
Outside of losing to NC State, they are 1-1. So
Brennan Armstrong was supposed to be the answer, though. I think that's the main point. Let's get to the main point.
And we can address that. I 100% agree. I have 1,000%, and I'm not gonna. Anybody who's seen me on the tape about this, tell me if I've lied at any point. I've said this on Locked On Wolfpack. I've said this and Locked On College Football Live. Brennan Armstrong and his decision-making are the biggest key. And he showed us, you can try to change, but that's just the top player. He is who he is when he got here.
That's fair.
With that being said, there's also a quarterback that's played a little football on the bench by the name of MJ Morris.
I said it's going to come in week 5. MJ is going to go ahead, get in there.
Here's the thing. I didn't know when it was coming or if it would even be necessary, but I'm not going to have a 6-year guy throwing into double coverage multiple times. I'm not going to have that. I'm not. If we're going to have a guy throwing in double coverage, make it the young guy, because at least he can learn from that, and I can expect him to not do it in year 3, 4, 5. He's not getting to 6 because he wasn't part of COVID, but you get the point. Yeah. He's not going to be doing that later on down the line as opposed to this old guy that's doing it. So, that's fair. And even with Brennan and even with the defense giving up those huge gashing runs, that is still not a team that has looked just like dog water throughout this early part of the season to say, hey, I've got them for sure in dead last. So,
well, we definitely have had teams that look solid, right? Louisville looks solid. Miami looks solid.
Yeah.
I think that those are the two that have, okay, they're holding the weight. Florida State is a cut above right now to me, in front of above everybody else. But I mean, top three can be interchangeable throughout the week. But that's why we love it when you guys comment, because we can have these sort of conversations where you just let it out. And one of these days we'll get all of our words right. First time's a charm.
And also, I got that incorrect. UConn lost to Georgia State the week after they lost to NC State. So I will accept that I got that one wrong. I had to.
Got a lot wrong today. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow.
We'll try again tomorrow. Ultimately, to say that this is, the dead last of the teams who are going to win more than 3 games, I'm not exactly sure about that. But again, it's possible that you're right because we're inside week 4. And so I'm not going to say that I definitively have anything nailed down about any of these teams yet.
It's a big 2 weeks for you. I'm not going to lie. Big 2 weeks.
Big 2 weeks. Absolutely.
We hope that you guys stick with us. We are going to go over week 3, who's in, who's out, marquee matchups, people that are playing for pride, people that need to really hone in and figure it out. They play for pride thing. All right, I get it. But we're going to have all that conversation about week 3. We're going to go over your polls. So you've locked it in. You've voted. Make sure you check in to see the results for tomorrow. For Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs. Until next time.